The government of President Bola Ahmed is a government that is very sensitive to the yearning and aspirations of average Nigerian. And it's a government that want to make every Nigerian to be educated, have knowledge and character, armed with necessary skills that will allow him to participate or allow them to participate actively in the employment competition locally and internationally. Because President has the firm belief that the only tool you can do to eradicate poverty is education. Hence, Mr. President has a lot to offer to Nigerians as a dividend of democracy in education. And one of such area of consideration by Mr. President that also featured prominently as a thematic area in the 8-point agenda under the priority focus on social services and education is out-of-school children. We all know that it's a very sad news, but the reality that Nigeria is leading globally in the number of out-of-school children. And Mr. President has the firm belief that those children that are on the streets, something must be done to rescue them, otherwise they stand to be a major problem for Nigeria. They can represent a pool where miscreants can tap, recruit, and cause disharmony, chaos, and whatever you have in different parts of Nigeria. And therefore, Mr. President came up with the policy of how to remove them out of street back to school. The figure of over 20 million out-of-school children, as reported by many non-governmental and international partners, or the figure of 10.6 million as reported by Universal Basic Education, all, depending on the parameter used, all are not acceptable. And for us in the 20th century, Nigeria is supposed to be proud as one of the leading countries in terms of literacy rate and in terms of getting our children to school. So Mr. President gave us a mandate to ensure that we reduce the number of out-of-school children, or even eradicate it if possible, to reduce it to bare minimum. And for us, we look inward and we find that there are a lot of things that need to be done for us to succeed in achieving the mandate of the President. First of all, at the ministry, we have to look at and do a stock taking, and then look at all the data from various sources, and then come to the conclusion we have to do something. And in doing that something, we try to look at what are the roles each MDA can do in removing children out of school. So we started by identifying the areas, and under the Federal Ministry of Education headquarters itself, we realized that we can leverage on the Department of Basic Education and then secondary school education. So also we can also leverage on Special Service Department. We can also go ahead to look at the science and technology, because we need skill in that. And then parastatal under the ministry, universal basic education is also one of the major areas we can work with to ensure that something is done for out-of-school children. The issue of student loan fund is all about the desire of Mr. President to give every child the chance to reach his peak of career. And for you to reach that peak, at least you need to have a tertiary education. And Mr. President is also saying that a lot cannot afford to pursue that education because of financial reasons. And quoting him rightly, when he was assenting to the bill, he said, poverty should not be a reason to deny a child access to education. And that the single weapon that you can use to fight and eradicate poverty is education. So the essence of that is for the president to improve or increase access to tertiary level of education by individuals. And not only in the access to, also skill too. If you look at, we have two versions, the Repeal and Amended Act, and then the current Null Fund Act. In the first act, skill wasn't included. But Mr. President says, give knowledge. If you give knowledge without skill, we are still going back to our 20 years back, and you cannot be repeating what is not giving you result, and you expect that you get a different result. So Mr. President said, okay, let's add skill to it, so that you can have masters, you can have PhD. If you want to go and get skills on how to develop software, or on how to even go into details of assembling hardware, because you are desirous of that skill, it's enough reason for you to access student loan fund, so that you can go and acquire skill. You understand? So yes.
Which is the state for the loan now?
Which is the
state for the loan now? What is happening?
The board has already been established. Everybody has been, the chairman has been assigned, one of the patriotic philanthropists in Nigeria. And then we also have the managing director, and all other appointment has been done. And then the board has done the existing. They are just about yesterday also the chairman chaired the meeting of the board of the management of Null Fund, and already they have opened on a portal, and students have already applied. So at what level? At the level we are now is very soon students who have applied will start getting the alert based on the distance. If you apply for tuition fee like in your state university, the university will communicate with you that they have received the payment of your tuition fee. If you apply it for hostel student, university will also tell you. If you apply for a day-to-day running of your activities that has to do with your education, you also receive the alert directly. So we are now at the level of implementation. Policy development and what have you have been already past that. We have received application is being processed, and then going by the act is within 1 month, students are supposed to have their loan either approved or not, so that they can start receiving the alert. And I want to tell you that Mr. President's government is a government that respects the rules of law, and we are binded by that, and very soon students will start receiving the alert of their applications. You see, the achievement of this ministry are so much and so many that we have to, if you give me 1 to 5 hours to list it, I cannot be able to do that. But simply let us say that what we have done in the ministry is to establish, first of all, a very good working relationship within the ministry itself, between ministry and the MDA, ministry and other tiers of government, and then ministry with other parastatals, and also other ministries. For example, before we came in, what I'm saying from government, we have fund that has to do with state governments at universal basic education, which require state paying in a matching grant. Prior to our coming, a lot of states are not paying their matching grant, and they are not accessing. But through a very good working relationship and advocacy, as of today, virtually all the states of the region are accessing their matching grant, thereby making a lot of money for the second tier, the state government, to be able to do more in terms of teacher capacity building, more in terms of school renovation and construction, more in terms of access to a lot of instructional materials. You understand? So that's a very good addition, because having a money without being utilized is addition. So we have maintained that, and we have also, because we have worked closely to ensure that we return that distance. Now, if we look at also the access to education, we have improved the access of education. One of it is also the student loan board that I said will improve access, and then we have also gone down to construct many more schools, improved number of classrooms. We have the bigger defect of almost more than 200,000 classes that are needed. The federal government, as a support to the state, have constructed so many classes as of today. I was in Sokoto, I was in KB. Very soon that I tell you I'm going somewhere, we have gone to plan how are we going to commission that of the Kaduna set. We'll move to southwest, we'll move to southeast, and all this have been concluded. And then to also so that in terms of not only that, the smart schools of the federal government have also already been handed over to school, and they are using. So what I'm trying to say that we have also increased so many number of classes that we are going to do. We also say that we have succeeded in our first quarter this in intervention in terms of returning back student back to school. In our report, we have aggregated values from the school, from the state. We have succeeded in returning 2 million students back to school. And what we are working now seriously is to see how can we, as much as possible, do what we can do to make sure that they are retained, and we also improve enrollment of others in the schools. You understand? That's this thing. If you look at also the performance, the whole issue is about getting certificate. Now, if you look at the credibility of our exam, both the JAM, WAEC, NECO, MBIS, and also National Board of National Business and Technical Education Examination Board, are all doing fantastically well. We have seen how drastically in the last JAM exams, malpractice has been reduced to the BRS minimum through the deployment of this. We have also succeeded in deployment of technology. Just about 2 days to the 1-year anniversary of Mr. President in office, we have commissioned a national digital resource center in Kado, which is a hub of application of technology into education. And we have succeeded in training over 1,500 teachers nationwide. And the training is ongoing. Most of your correspondents were there. They have seen how the place is. You have hostel accommodation inside, so that when you are training, you don't need to come out, except if you are going for Jumat services or Sunday services. You have everything. The hotel is right there. And then you have seen the gadget there. And then how you can have a basic foundation knowledge of improving the critical thinking and application of artificial intelligence in learning. So there's this. When you look at also the issue of tertiary education, we have done so much. Through the TED Fund, we have constructed this. As of today, you see, if I say in some state universities, when you remove TED Fund, the university will collapse. We have seen a lot of structures being erected by TED Fund, and we are also making it robust. Just about 4 or 5 days ago, we've inaugurated a committee that will ensure research grants are monitored and implemented according to this. And so also, all whatever you are going to apply to TED Fund is scrutinized to avoid unnecessary wastage. And then we have also commenced curriculum development and review, which will last, I think, some weeks ago. The National Business and Technical Education Examination Board had a meeting and reviewed their syllabi and curriculum. We also try as much as we see all other regulatory body, the NUC, the National Colleges of Education Commission, and also this are also working to ensure that there is strict adherence to provision of the Act, so that we can ensure quality education.